What's up, everybody? How y'all doing, man? Appreciate all y'all being here. We got a 7-game slate for Thursday night to talk about. As always, for the next 30 minutes to an hour, we'll just break down the slate with you guys, answer all your questions. We'll hit on any news in a second that did come out throughout the day. There was a little bit of news, still some stuff we're waiting on. Still some guys questionable, I believe. Let me see if I can take a look. I know there's a couple guys that are still questionable, like Porzingis. We got to wait and see if he's going to play, given it's a back-to-back. Jordan Clarkson was ruled he was changed to doubtful, so he's doubtful now, but they didn't give an update on Mike Conley. So Mike Conley will have to see. It's a back-to-back. He could maybe be out. Mason Plumlee's now questionable, which is pretty important. We saw, Isaiah Stewart have a really good game. Last time Plumlee was out, Stewart still very cheap today, 4,100 on DK. He's going to be a really good value play if Plumlee were to sit. Only thing that sucks is that is one of the late-night games. But the good thing is there are a lot of cheap Pistons that are viable, I guess. So if you do wind up playing Stewart, you can maybe swap him to like a Sadiq Bey if you leave some salary on the table. There's a lot of Pistons that are viable today since Plumlee and Jeremy Grant could both be out. Plumlee is obviously questionable. We already know Jeremy Grant's out. So yeah, that's most of the news that's come out today. The Raptors are going to have an 8-man rotation. DeAndre Bembry got suspended, so he's going to be out, which leaves Toronto super shorthanded. Definitely going to have interest in a lot of Toronto guys today for sure. But yeah, what's up, everybody? Appreciate all y'all being here. What's up, Jay? PJC, what's up, my man? Johnson or Watanabe, which is a better choice? I prefer Utah between the two. I think Utah just probably plays more minutes. He gives you a little bit more upside as well. Last game, I should say, Utah got, he got 20 minutes off the bench. Let's see how much Stanley Johnson played. Obviously, Bembry played in these games, but last game, Stanley Johnson played 26, Utah played 20. Now we have to think, last game, OG was ejected, so I think that's one of the reasons you saw these guys get a few more minutes. But, you look, Stanley Johnson played 26 minutes and he scored 5 fantasy points. So I think you get more upside from a guy like Utah Watanabe. So I'd rather play him but over Stanley Johnson. Honestly, I hate to say every guy from Toronto's in play, but Siakam, OG, Trent, Boucher, Flynn, I expect those to be the 5 starters, which I think, all 5 of them are viable. And then you'll have Aaron Baines, Utah, and Johnson off the bench. Henry Ellison, I believe, is not with the team, so he's not going to play. He's a free agent. He's not even on the team anymore, so don't roster him. They have 8 guys available. They're going to have their 5 starters, and then they'll have Baines, Utah, and Johnson off the bench. Literally all 5 guys are viable. Or all 8 guys are viable, I should say. Utah is probably my favorite guy off the bench, though. If we're looking the punt plays, because, Baines, Utah, and Johnson are all, Baines is 3,200, and Utah and Johnson are both 3K. If I had to pick one of those 3 guys, Utah's my favorite. I'm assuming Malachi Flynn, though. I'm assuming he starts for Bembry. We'll have to wait and see, though. What do you think about Flynn? I already liked Flynn heading into today, and now that DeAndre Bembry's out, I feel very confident that Flynn plays big minutes again. He's played at least 30 minutes in every game that Van Vliet's missed. I expect him to play 30-plus minutes, and he's been productive without Lowry and without Van Vliet, so really do like Malachi Flynn. Even with his price up, I still think he's a very good option. Conley and Mitchell play them together. With Clarkson out, I think those 2 guys do get a little bit of a boost. They're not super cheap. Mitchell's almost 9K. Conley's above 7K. It's not like you're getting a great price on either one of those guys, but I do have a little bit more interest in them now that Clarkson is doubtful. But keep an eye on Conley's status. I assume Conley plays since he wasn't on the 130 injury report, but he's been resting on back-to-backs a lot this season. So, maybe when the 530 injury report comes out, they could, scratch Conley or something. Just keep an eye on it. Saban Lee, I don't think I'm going to go there, Didi. I think the main guys I'm looking to target from Detroit are Habadou Diallo, Josh Jackson, Sadiq Bey, and Isaiah Stewart if Plumlee were to be out. I think those are the 4 guys I like most from Detroit. Now that they have Killian Hayes back, they still have, they have Deanna Smith. They're going to give a few minutes to. They have Killian Hayes back now. I just don't feel confident that Saban Lee's going to play a ton. He'll probably play 18, 20 minutes. They're going to split the minutes, between all 3 of those guys. Honestly, if I had to play a Detroit point guard, it'd probably be Killian Hayes. Had to take a break from the Masters for the live stream. Let's get it, Noah. Yeah, I got it up on the TV above me. I have it muted. You guys can't hear it, but yeah, I've been watching the Masters all day. I did play some PGA this week. I've been playing PGA a lot this season, and obviously on the Masters, I'm going to be playing. I'm not looking great, though. I had JT, I had Bryson, had Sergio. All 3 of those guys are +3 or +4. They're going to have to shoot really low tomorrow to make the cut, so it's going to be a sweat for sure. See if those guys get through. Morris or Crowder? I'd probably rather have Morris there. I don't really have a ton of interest in either one, but I'd probably rather go with Morris. What's good, Noah? Tricky slate today. Are you prioritizing Drew or Flynn? I mean, I like both quite a bit, Bryce. I think both are very solid options. Clearly, without Giannis, with Giannis doubtful, Drew, Middleton, Bobby Portis all look like very good options. Will Isaiah start with Plumlee concussion protocol and no Grant? Yeah, Isaiah Stewart, he started last time Plumlee was out. So I would assume if Plumlee sits, that Stewart will start again. And he'll be a really good value play if he does. Killian Hayes is my long shot today. I'm fine with that, King Carter. I think he's going to be very low owned. You know, the only thing that sucks is that Detroit, they just play a ton of guys. So they have so many bodies. They have so many guys they can give minutes to. But I think Killian Hayes probably gets like 22, 24 minutes. He should be productive with no Jeremy Grant. You know, I think, you know, if you want to take a shot at someone for super cheap, he's someone I'd be interested in tournaments. He should be very low owned, if I had to guess. Any interest in Andre Drummond? The price point intrigues me. He's so affordable. I mean, $6,500 is just way too cheap for Andre Drummond. He wasn't great in his first game with the Lakers in the 14 minutes that he played before he got injured. Like, he wasn't very productive in that time. But if we're getting like 30-plus minutes from Andre Drummond, I mean, $6,500 is way too cheap. Now, I don't know if he plays 30-plus minutes just because they have Montrezl Harrell. Marc Gasol's been playing better lately. It's tricky because they do have a lot of, you know, they have bigs they can give minutes to. It's not like Drummond's the only healthy big that they have. That's what worries me. Like, I think later on in the season, Drummond's going to, you know, start to get more minutes. But right now, I think they're still going to give a good amount of minutes to Harrell. And Marc Gasol might play some as well. I think if it was a shorter slate, I'd probably take a shot on Drummond, but we have a lot of good plays today. I don't know if I'm going to go there, honestly. He's in play for tournaments, but in my one lineup tonight, I don't think I'm going to play Drummond. With this much value, who will be your top two studs in Yahoo? And if Conley plus Clarkson out, is Mitchell play? I mean, yeah, if Conley's out as well, I'm going to like Mitchell a lot more. I mean, obviously with Clarkson out, that's a boost for Conley and that's a boost for Mitchell. But both guys, I think, are priced appropriately. Now, if Conley were to be out as well, yeah, I'd love Mitchell. Top two studs, I mean, right now, like, I like a lot of the mid-range guys. You got the Milwaukee guys. You got the Raptors plays that I like. You know, Siakam, OG. If I had to pay up for somebody, though, it would probably be Luka. You know, if I had to go for anyone up top, it'd be Luka. Next, probably favorite stud after that would probably be like Fox. But I really like, you know, some of the 7K, 8K guys we have today. How did you like KD's return? Just curious. I mean, he looked good. I watched a lot of that game because I played Kyrie and Lonzo last night, so I watched a lot of that game. You know, it sucks that game was a blowout. It was weird, though. KD, he didn't check in till, like, the second quarter. It was kind of weird. They brought him in super late, but, yeah, he looked good. I mean, he looked like normal KD. It didn't look like he was hobbled or anything. Can't remember how many minutes he wound up playing. I don't think it was much because the blowout, you know, none of their starters played in the fourth quarter besides, you know, Bruce Brown. What's up, Noah, my guy? What's up, Galvin? What's up, my man? Kawhi or Siakam? I think I'd rather have Siakam, honestly, between the two. Thoughts on Thaddeus Young on Chicago? I mean, with Daniel Tice back, I don't have a ton of interest in Thaddeus Young. He's still going to start and probably get, you know, mid-20s minutes, but I don't think at his price point he really stands out as like a top option. There's other guys I think I'd rather go to. Like, I'd probably rather play like a DeAndre Ayton over Thaddeus Young. You know, he's similarly priced to him. And you got guys like Sadiq Bey, Josh Jackson for way cheaper that I like as well with Grant out. Assuming Kanter is out, Kanter and Bobby Portis or Siakam in Utah. Well, that's a tough one, Gabriel. I'd probably take Kanter and Bobby Portis, assuming Nurkic is out, but that is super close. I like both sides of that. Corey Joseph revenge game. I mean, yeah, I guess if you want to play Corey Joseph, go ahead. He's another, I mean, like, that's another guard that Detroit has. Like, they literally have 4 point guards that will probably play. Saban Lee's going to play. He's obviously their starter. Corey Joseph will get minutes off the bench. Dennis Smith will probably get minutes off the bench. Like, that's the only thing that sucks, man. This Detroit team, they just literally play everybody. Like, they don't run a tight rotation. They're going to give everyone at least, like, 10 minutes. I mean, you're not going to get big minutes from really anybody outside of Jeremy Grant, and Jeremy Grant's out. So, like, if I had to predict who plays the most minutes tonight, it's probably, like, I feel confident Isaiah Stewart plays, like, 28, 30 minutes if Plumlee's out. So, but, like, Diallo, like, I like Diallo a lot. I don't know if he gets, like, huge minutes, though. He probably plays at least, like, 25, 30, though, especially if he starts. I feel good about him getting closer to 30. Boucher in line for big minutes today, played 33 last game, and now they're even more shorthanded, just worried about Baines getting 20 plus. Honestly, I wouldn't be worried about Baines. I mean, I think, with Toronto having 8 bodies, I expect Boucher to get probably 30 minutes again. I'd be very surprised if he doesn't. I think the only reason he doesn't would be foul trouble or something. I think all the starters play at least 30 minutes, and I think you get probably 20, 25 from Utah. You probably get, 15, 20 from Stanley Johnson, and probably get 15 from Baines. That's my guess, I guess. Just a little guess. I don't really look at minutes projections or anything, but if I had to guess, I would say that's probably what the projections are going to have. Best options for center on Yahoo. I think Bobby Portis is the best center option. Super cheap, should start again if Giannis is out. He's a really good play. What's up, Noah? What do you think about last man in Gobert against Portland? Yeah, I'm fine with that, Mark. I don't think Gobert is really someone I'm starting my lineup with tonight, but as a last guy in, totally fine with that. Definitely a good matchup, especially if Nurkic is out and he gets to go up against Kanter. That's a pretty good matchup for Gobert. Got to go get groceries. I'll be running this video back, though. Good luck, Noah. Hey, good luck, Didi. Thank you for being here, man. Good luck. Detroit plays 14 guys. Yeah, that's the only frustrating thing. They just run such a deep rotation. So annoying. What's good, Noah? Been sick all week, but still playing DFS. Thoughts on any value small forwards or power forwards we should consider? Utah, I like a lot as a value power forward. He's minimum salary on DK. Josh Jackson, Hamidou Diallo, Sadiq Bey, I think are all value small forwards you can go to. So, yeah, there's plenty of value at the forward position. Those are guys I'm interested in. Thoughts on Moses Brown? I don't have a ton of interest in Moses Brown. He went through that stretch where he was just putting up a 50-burger every night, and since then he really hasn't done much. I haven't been playing him. He had that stretch 33, 43, 50. He had 38 against Toronto, and since then 13, 28, 20, 18. I know game logs isn't everything, but it's tough to go to Moses Brown at 6,600 until we see him actually do something. I just can't pay this price tag for him until we see another good game from him. Vooch took 29 shots last game. I didn't even know that. Did he really? Damn. Vooch took 29 shots last game. That's crazy. Yeah, Vooch, I think I'd rather play Vooch over Levine, honestly, with how much better Vooch has been playing than Levine has. But I still don't think Vooch is really someone I'm going out of my way to play today. Especially because, Bobby Portis looks like such a good play at center. I like him a lot. Isaiah Stewart I would like a lot at center if Mason Plumlee were to get ruled out. Diallo for 40-plus fantasy points tonight with no Jeremy Grant. I know they play different positions, but I'm thinking about usage. Diallo should be very productive when he's out there. And you would think without Grant, they're probably going to split up the minutes a lot of ways. Grant plays 35 minutes, so they'll probably give 5 extra minutes to Diallo, 5 minutes to Bey, 5 minutes to Jackson. There's going to be a lot of guys that get Grant's minutes, but there's definitely going to be guys that should be more productive because Grant is the highest usage player on this team. So getting him off the floor is going to allow for a guy like Diallo to get more usage. I do like Diallo quite a bit. I think he's going to be really popular if he's starting, but if he's not starting, I don't think he's going to be as popular. In tournaments, I think I'd probably rather have him come off the bench just because that'll lower his ownership. But regardless, I think he's a solid option. For forward, 5.3K and below, already have Portis. Diallo would probably be my next favorite play there. He's 5,100. You play 2K? Not really. I really don't. Last 2K I played was 2K18. Some of my friends play it, but I've never really been high on 2K. Fox or Holiday on Yahoo? I would rather have Holiday since he's cheaper. And he could easily outscore Fox, and I wouldn't be surprised. So, yeah, give me Holiday there. Thoughts on Markieff Morris with THT out and maybe Kuz out? If Kuz were to be out, then yeah, I'd like Markieff Morris a good amount. But if Kuz plays, I think Markieff Morris is just a decent option. He's not a top play for me. But Kuz is questionable, which is pretty big news because without Kuz, with no LeBron, with no AD, and if there were to be no Kuz, you'd probably get big minutes from Markieff Morris. THT also, out. So yeah, we got to wait and see if Kuz plays. If he's out, Markieff Morris definitely more interesting. Should I fade Mitchell for more Raptors on Yahoo? I know Mitchell's $38 on Yahoo and Siakam is the same price tag. I think I'd rather have Siakam over Mitchell, honestly. So, yeah, I'm fine with that. I don't think Mitchell's a must or anything. But if Conley were to wind up resting, then, yeah, I'd like Mitchell quite a bit. I just don't know when we're going to get that news, if we do get it. Conley might play. The fact that he wasn't on the injury report kind of makes me assume he's playing. especially since Clarkson's probably going to be out. Like I doubt they want to have Clarkson and Conley both out. I'd be surprised if both those guys sit. Obviously, Clarkson probably will, but Conley I think might play. Thoughts on Killian Hayes? I mean, we mentioned him earlier. You know, this Detroit team, they play a ton of guys. They're going to give so many guys minutes, but Killian Hayes probably will get like 20 to 25 minutes. He should be productive when he's out there, especially with Jeremy Grant not on the floor. So, yeah, if you want to take a shot on Killian Hayes, I'm fine with it. He should be super low owned on the slate. Moved a couple players since you didn't really like Gobert. Hello, last man in, util 8,400. Let's see. I mean, it's fine to play Gobert, but if you have 8,400 left for your last guy in, I mean, assuming you don't already have Drew, I would definitely take Drew there, like Drew or Middleton, but I'm assuming you already have them. So, next favorite option would probably be like PG. I'd probably take there, PG for 8,400, assuming you don't have one of those two Bucks guys. Can you think of a better stud combo tonight than Mitchell and Vooch? I mean, I like the Milwaukee guys, you know, Middleton and Drew. Like, I'd rather have them for cheaper. But, I mean, Mitchell, I think gets a boost without Clarkson, but I just don't know if he's going to, you know, I don't know if he's like a must play when he's 8,600. If Mitchell was like 7,800, I think he'd be a lot more interesting, but closer to 9K, like Clarkson being out, it's obviously beneficial for Mitchell, but I don't think, you know, Mitchell's a guy you really have to build around today. Same with Vooch. Like, I'm not really trying to jam in any of the guys above 9K. Like, I'm like the most expensive player in my dummy lineup right now is Pascal Siakam. Like, he's the most expensive guy I have. Like, I'm fine playing a couple 7 to 8K guys and then going to some of these 5K, 4K options that we've talked about, or punting with, you know, Utah Watanabe, that is, not Utah as a team. In the captain spot, Bam or Jimmy Butler on DK. I mean, I'd probably play Jimmy there just between the two. I'm guessing that's for showdown. Thoughts on Barnes and Hield with no true starters on Detroit? I mean, I don't think you know, Detroit having no true starters really matters. Barnes and Hield, I don't have a ton of interest in on this slate. Thoughts on Cousins? Yeah, so like DeMarcus Cousins, is he available to play? He's minimum salary. So did he play last game? Yeah, so he played last game. He played 8 minutes. I mean, I can't play DeMarcus Cousins until we see him play more than 8 minutes. Like, I wouldn't think he's going to be a guy that gets a ton of minutes. Like, he's probably just going to play like 10, 15 minutes a night. I don't see any reason why you would want to go to him. I forgot he was even on the Clippers, honestly. I forgot he signed with them. Conley will play, but may see few less minutes since it's a back-to-back. I mean, yeah, I guess, but we'll have to wait and see. I mean, if Conley plays, I'm assuming he's full go. So, but like, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets ruled out later in the night. Like, when the 5:30 injury report comes out, I wouldn't be surprised if Conley gets ruled out. But for now, I'm assuming he's playing since he wasn't on the 1:30 injury report. Thanks for all you do, Noah. You go. Hey, I appreciate that, John. I appreciate that. Thoughts on Luka, Siakam, Middleton, Portis, Flynn, Diallo, Beyond, and Baines. I don't know who Beyond is, but Luka, Siakam, Middleton, Portis, Flynn, Diallo, Baines. I mean, that's fine. That's solid. I'd probably rather have Utah over Baines, just to be honest with you, but that's solid. Like, I would definitely want to get Drew in as well. I know Drew's going to be really popular tonight, but I think he's, you know, one of the better plays on this slate. Like, I'd be fine dropping down from Luka to Drew and then spinning up elsewhere if you want to do that, John. Sexton or Garland? I mean, I'm not a big fan of either one on this slate. Like, I don't think I'm playing any Cavs today. Maybe Kevin Love, depending on what kind of minutes limit he's going to be on. But I guess if I had to play one of those two, I'd play Sexton. Siakam or Middleton, or try to fit both? I mean, I think it's, you know, really good to play both. I think that's definitely a way I'm going to be looking to go. But if I had to pick one, it probably would still be Middleton. Ingles or DiVincenzo? I'd probably rather have DiVincenzo. You know, Ingles, I think, benefits without Jordan Clarkson, but it's not like Ingles is super cheap. I mean, he's 5,700, so I'd rather have Dante between the two. Baines or Thanasis? I mean, Thanasis is not someone I'm really going to. Last time Giannis was out, Thanasis only played like 8 minutes, so I have no interest in him, so I'd take Baines there. Last man in, Harrell or Holmes or Ayton? Well, with Drummond playing, I have no interest in Harrell, so it'd be between Holmes or Ayton. I'd probably take Holmes if you have the salary for him. Any interest in Fox? I think he's in play for tournaments as a lower-owned option. You know, he's not like a top play for me. He's not going to really pop in projections today, I don't think. But, we've seen Fox can go out there and put up 50 plus any night. So in tournaments, you can go there. Me personally, though, in my one lineup tonight, I'm probably not playing Fox. You think I can win something with Drew and Middleton in same single entry? I mean, yeah, you can. Those guys look like two of the best plays of the slate. I think it's totally fine to play them together. If you're asking, playing them in single entry, is that, if they're going to be too chalky, I don't think so. Normally, even when Drew and Middleton, even in these scenarios when Giannis is out, even though they're really popular, I normally just play him anyway. Normally Drew and Middleton are both going to put up 50 in this scenario, if not more than that. So they're both underpriced still. You definitely can play both together without a question. I think the real reason you look to get away from them is just because they're going to be very popular. It's not because you expect them to disappoint. I mean, without Giannis, Drew and Middleton, we know, are going to go out there and just dominate the usage. Luka is one of my studs or over-owned. I mean, I don't think Luka's going to be that popular today. I think, a lot of these mid-range options, the Milwaukee guys, the Raptors guys that we've talked about, I think that's where a lot of the ownership's going to go today. I mean, Luka will probably get some ownership, but he's not going to be 40% owned, I wouldn't think. So, yeah, you can play Luka. He's not going to be too popular or anything. Booker or PG, probably rather have PG between those two. Gobert, Boucher, or Ayton. I mean, if you have the salary, play Gobert. I mean, those guys are all three different price points. So, but I'd say Gobert. Juan with the 149 PHP. I'm not exactly sure what PHP is, what currency that is, but thank you, Juan. Thank you for the super chat, man. I appreciate that, brother. Appreciate that. I'm not sure what country what country you're from, what currency that is, but thank you, Juan. Maybe Philippines. A lot of people said they watched me from the Philippines, so I'm guessing that's what PHP is. That's the Philippines currency. 4,400 last spot, Beverly. I mean, I probably wouldn't go there, Chris. Beverly's not a guy I'm really considering on this slate. I'd probably rather play Sadiq Bey. I'd play Sadiq Bey over Beverly. Or if Plumlee gets ruled out, I'd play Isaiah Stewart over Beverly. So, yeah, I'm not interested in Beverly. Just got here. Where's the value today, Noah? I mean, Toronto's going to have an 8-man rotation, so, all their starters look appealing. Plus, Utah, I like off the bench for minimum salary. With DeAndre Bembry suspended, I think Utah's a really good value. I think he's going to probably get mid-20s, maybe even closer to 30 minutes, minimum salary. I like him for value. I like these Detroit guys with Jeremy Grant out. Plumlee's also questionable, so if Plumlee's out, you got a really good value play in Isaiah Stewart. I think Diallo, Josh Jackson, Sadiq Bey all benefit without Jeremy Grant, so I like those guys for value. There's plenty of cheap options today for sure. What about Kendrick Williams against Cleveland, or is that reaching? I'm fine with Kendrick Williams. I like him more on Yahoo, where he's really cheap still. But even on DK, at 5,100, I think that's what his price is. I mean, he's still viable. He started last night, played, I think, over 30 minutes. He started the game before that, but he got in foul trouble and he got injured. But last night he started, played 34 minutes, had 36 DK points. I mean, he shot terribly. He shot 2 for 12 from the field and still had 36 fantasy points. 9 rebounds, 9 assists. Might be a bit of a fluke, but, Kendrick Williams is someone that can be productive when he gets minutes. So I do have some interest in him still. Bembry got a 1-game suspension. Is OG suspended too? No, Reggie. Bembry and Taylor Horton-Tucker, those were the two guys that got suspended. So both Bembry and THT are going to be out tonight. Everyone else is fine. Those are the only two guys that got suspended. Some other guys got fined, but no suspensions. To anyone else, I should say. You like Bojan? I have $14 left on Yahoo for forward. Can't decide between him and Sadiq Bey. If Conley gets ruled out, Bryce, if Conley gets rested, I'd place Bojan there. But if not, I'd probably take Sadiq Bey. I do like Sadiq Bey. I think he's going to be overlooked, but I think he benefits without Jeremy Grant. And I think his minutes are going to be more secure. So I'm definitely interested in him, and I'd probably take him there. Unless Conley were to sit, then give me Bojan. Favorite value by team between Raps, OKC, and Detroit. I mean, the Raptors don't have a ton of cheap guys. The only cheap guys they have, obviously, Malachi Flynn, I wouldn't say he's super cheap or anything, but I mean, you've got, Utah that I like for value for minimum salary, but I don't really want to I don't think I'm playing Baines or Stanley Johnson. They're viable, but I don't think I'm going there. Detroit, though, there's a lot of guys that are 4 to 5K that I like. Sadiq Bey, Josh Jackson, Hamidou Diallo, Stewart if Plumlee's out. So I guess the OKC, or I guess Detroit, but honestly, I don't know. I mean, the Raptors are going to be a team you want exposure to. Anytime a team is running an 8-man rotation, you're going to want to play some guys from that team. So you're going to want to have some Raptors tonight. Not saying you have to play 4 Raptors, but you're going to want at least 1 or 2, I think. Thoughts on Hartenstein? I don't really have any interest in Hartenstein. I don't think he's really been playing that much lately. Oh, he did get so he got 27 minutes last game. I think a lot of that might have been due to blowout. You know, I know Larry Nance and Jared Allen are both still out, but like Kevin Love's back and he's playing closer to 30 minutes. I mean, he got like 26 minutes last game. My best guess is that Kevin Love plays around 30 minutes and Isaiah Hartenstein probably plays like 20. So do I really want to go to Isaiah Hartenstein if he's only going to play like 20 minutes? Not really. Just not someone I'm going to consider on this slate. I think he's overpriced as well. Like, he was a good play when he was getting, low 20s minutes and he was minimum salary. Now that he's 4,400, just nowhere near as good of an option. Cavs have some sneaky good plays. How about Prince? I mean, I don't really have any interest in Taurean Prince. Like, I've seen a lot of questions about Taurean Prince. I don't really see any reason to go to him. Like, I know he's been productive these last 2 games, but, like, he's just not someone I really play. Like, this Cleveland team is just not a team I want to have exposure to. Like, I think I'd rather play Sadiq Bey over Taurean Prince. So, I'm not that interested in Prince. If you guys want to go to him, you can, but he's not really someone I've considered on this slate. Is leaving 1K salary or 1K left for salary too much? Yeah, that's probably too much. You probably could use that money and upgrade somewhere else. Normally it's fine to leave like 500 on the table, but once you're leaving like 1K on the table, then yeah, you're probably leaving too much, honestly. Thanks, Noah, for all the great content. Good luck, bro. Going for 4 days in a row catching. Let's get it. Hey, good luck, King Carter. And thanks for the kind words, man. I appreciate that. Would you still consider Flynn? He's 6K on FanDuel, probably 5,500 equivalent to DK. Hey, before I answer your questions, Ivoids, David, thank you for the $20 super chat, man, or the super sticker. I appreciate that, David. Thank you, man. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the support, brother. Appreciate that. But to answer your questions, Ivoids, would you still consider Flynn? He's 6K on FanDuel, probably 5,500 equivalent to DK. I mean, it depends what other options you have at his position. Like, I don't look at FanDuel, but like I would assume that Drew's probably the same position as Flynn. You're definitely probably going to want Drew. I mean, it just depends on what other options there are. Like, 6K does feel like a little bit too expensive, but I mean, Toronto's only going to have 8 guys, so I expect Flynn to play, 32, 34 minutes, and he's shown that he could be productive when he gets minutes. Appreciate the content, Noah. Let's get this chicken. Hey, let's get it, Bryce. Let's get it, man. You think Sato's a good pivot from Flynn? I mean, yeah, you could make that pivot. I still prefer Flynn, but yeah, I guess if you want to, play Sato for lower ownership, he should be way lower owned than Flynn will. Dante and Gary Trent or OG and Flynn? Give me OG and Flynn there. Gabriel. Rank these forwards on Yahoo. Trent, Bay, Diallo. Probably Trent number 1, like just factoring in fantasy projection. I mean, I know Trent's a little bit more expensive, but I'd probably go Trent number 1, Diallo 2, and then Bay 3. Damn, my boy, you showered today? Yeah, I showered this morning, DK. Showered this morning. I know my hair's like all just... I got to get a haircut. It's bad. It's just really fluffy right now. That's probably what you're talking about. Yeah, I know my hair's super, super fluffy right now. I got like a damn afro, basically. Happy birthday. I appreciate that, David. You're a little late, but I appreciate that, man. Thank you. I stopped doing NBA DFS. Now I do MLB winning every day. I'm glad to hear that, David. Glad to hear that, man. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that, brother. I just want Porzingis to get ruled out so I can play Boban. I mean, yeah, like, if Boban were to start and Porzingis were to get ruled out. I know Maxi Kleber was out yesterday. I think he's questionable for today, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so Kleber is questionable. If Kleber and Porzingis were to get ruled out, I would assume that Boban were to start. So, yeah, Boban definitely be a good play if he starts. It's my birthday. Let's go, Noah. Hey, happy birthday, and you. Happy birthday, man. My wife says Duncan Robinson, good play tonight. I told her she must have a concussion. Dude, I can't tell you the last time I played Duncan Robinson. I think the last time I played Duncan Robinson was when, like, Jimmy Butler and Bam were out for, like, COVID protocols or something. Like, what was that, 3 months ago? Like, that was, I think, the last time I played Duncan Robinson. Dwayne Dedmon available to make Heat debut. Okay, I don't think that really matters, but okay. Mitchell or Middleton if Giannis and Conley out? Well, Giannis is doubtful. I'm assuming he's going to be out. Conley Conley wasn't on the injury report, so I'm assuming Conley plays for now. Just keep an eye on it. I'd rather have Middleton there between the two, Suave. Okay, playing 4 Raptors. I'm fine with it, Greg. I'm fine with it. I mean, it depends on what 4 guys. But like right now, my dummy lineup on Yahoo, I think it has 3 Raptors, and same with DK. So I'd fine playing 4. If we get some news from now to a lock that opens up some really good plays, some other value, then maybe not. But for now, I think playing 4 is fine. I wouldn't play more than 4 though. Playing 5 Raptors just feels like too much. I feel like you're kind of capping your upside at that point. Last spot, PG, Middleton, or CP3. I'd rather have Middleton. Are you doing MLB DFS shows? I did one for opening day, David. Since then, I've just kind of been focused on MLB, or focused on NBA, excuse me. I'm still posting MLB content and stuff on Patreon, and I'm still playing MLB. But I think, in terms of YouTube videos, right now I just want to focus on the NBA for YouTube content. Because when you make multiple videos, like, it really hurts the other videos. So, like, if I were to make MLB videos, like, it would hurt my NBA, and my NBA videos wouldn't do as good. So for now, I think I'm just going to focus on NBA. But I'm still playing MLB, and I'm still posting content on Patreon for MLB. But for now, the plan is just to stick to NBA in terms of YouTube. Do your real-life friends know you make DFS videos and content? Most of them do. Yeah, most of them do. Bounce back game from Rashawn Holmes tonight. I mean, the matchup's really good. We've seen Detroit get killed by centers this season. So I guess you could go to Rashawn Holmes. He's still he's way overpriced, which is going to, he's going to be super low owned. I'd assume Rashawn Holmes is going to be 3% owned. I mean, this is a spot where he could definitely have success. I'm pretty sure he had a really good game against Detroit earlier this year. If you want to go to him in tournaments, he's going to be super low owned. We know he has upside. I'm fine with it, honestly. Suave, thank you for the $2.99 super sticker, man. I appreciate that. Thank you, man. I think that's what they're called. I think they're called super stickers. And then the messages are super chats. Best shooting guard option on Yahoo under $20. First guy that comes to mind would be Kendrick Williams. He's $12. But, there's multiple guys you could probably go to. You got DiVincenzo for $18 with Giannis doubtful. DiVincenzo, Josh Jackson, Williams. All 3 of those guys will probably be the 3 I consider. Factoring in price, I think Williams is probably my favorite just because he's so cheap at $12. But it would be one of those 3 guys, I think. Robert Covington or Kevin Love. Probably Robert Covington just because we know he's going to get, 35, 36 minutes. Kevin Love, if you were to told me Kevin Love was going to play 30 minutes tonight, I'd probably take Kevin Love. But the minutes are the question for him right now. So the safer option is probably just to go to Covington. Thoughts on Svi? He's probably one of my least favorite Thunder guys. I think Kendrick Williams is probably my favorite guy from the Thunder, followed by Mouden, followed by Poku. But yeah, I guess Svi's fine. He does feel like he's priced appropriately though. He's not 3,700 like he was a couple days ago. What is he now? I think he's 5K or something. Yeah, he's 5,600. You're really paying a hefty price tag for Svi. I don't think I'd be going to him on DK. Yahoo, maybe. He's still really cheap on Yahoo. I can maybe see playing him there. But Kendrick Williams I think is $1 more. I'd probably rather play Kendrick Williams. Any chance Luka sits on the back-to-back? I wouldn't think so, Donovan. He's played on every back-to-back this year, most of every back-to-back. Porzingis is the question. Will Porzingis sit? But he wasn't on the 130 injury report, so for now I'm just going to assume that Porzingis plays. Holmes is only $27 on Yahoo. Interested in pairing him and Kanter together for the late night slate if you were playing it? Well, Isaiah Stewart I'd probably be going to. So what's Isaiah Stewart's price? I would definitely probably be playing Isaiah Stewart if Plumlee gets ruled out. He'd be one of my centers. I don't know. I don't think the Milwaukee game, is that a part of the late night slate? I'm not exactly sure. If it is, then I'd probably be playing Bobby Portis too. But yeah, you could definitely play Holmes and maybe I'd probably go Holmes and Isaiah Stewart if Plumlee were to be out. Kanter, though, obviously will be viable if Nurkic is out again. If Nurkic plays, though, I really don't have any interest in Kanter. Thoughts on Moses Brown? Yeah, we mentioned Moses Brown earlier, Haywood. I don't have a ton of interest in him. I think he's just, until we see him actually put up a decent game, I can't pay $6,600 for Moses Brown until he actually does something. He's had 4 straight games less than 25 fantasy points. He's just been super bad lately. He could pop off tonight and put up 40, and I wouldn't be surprised, but even if he does, I don't think he's going to be really someone you have to have. Just because you got Boucher for cheaper, you got DeAndre Ayton around the same price point that I'd rather play. Like, they're just other guys I prefer over Moses Brown today. You think I should switch from DK to FanDuel? I'm a beginner to fantasy. I mean, Zyvoids, if you want to, like, you can just try out like every different site. I mean, you can play DK, you can play FanDuel, you can play Yahoo. Maybe play one day play DK, the next day play FanDuel, the next day play Yahoo. Just kind of go back to back from each site, and then just figure out which one you're having the most success on. If you're winning more on FanDuel, or if you're winning more on DK or Yahoo, maybe just play there. I mean, there's nothing wrong. Like, you could play 3 sites if you wanted to, but that's going to be, you're going to have to manage multiple sites or multiple lineups across multiple sites, which can get can kind of get hectic. But yeah, I recommend maybe switch to FanDuel for a couple days, see how it goes, and then maybe you want to switch back to DK. It's not like you have to make a huge deposit. I mean, you can deposit the minimum requirement, like whatever it is, $5. Like, you can just make a $5 deposit and then see how that goes. On Yahoo, Halliburton or Sexton? If you have the salary, I'd probably take Sexton. I'm playing Drummond because the price is good, but so scared he's going to do bad. I mean, his first game with the Lakers, like I said earlier, he wasn't very productive. He only had like 8 fantasy points in 14 minutes. But I mean, yeah, 6,500 for Drummond, that's super cheap. If he gets anywhere near 30 minutes, he should be able to pay off that price point. Like, Drummond's one of those guys, like, if he were to play 30 minutes tonight and put up 45, like, I wouldn't be surprised. But I wouldn't be surprised as well if he plays 25 minutes and puts up like 25 and just, is a mediocre option. Like I said earlier, I think if it was a different slate, I probably would be playing Drummond or even, maybe considering him. But there's just so many other options I prefer today. I don't think I'm going to get there. Saban Lee, I mean, yeah, I don't have a ton of interest in Saban Lee. Just because, we've talked about it. Detroit they have so many bodies. They have so many point guards. They have, Dennis Smith, Corey Joseph, Killian Hayes. Like, they just have so many guys they'll give minutes to. At most, Saban Lee probably plays like 25 minutes max, I would say. And I don't think I really want to go to him on this slate. Thoughts on Powell? I really don't have any interest in Norman Powell. He's not someone I'm really looking to on this slate. Not someone I'm really considering. So, yeah, I don't think I'm going there. On Yahoo, we answered that already. Any Ingles tonight? I mean, I think Ingles benefits without Clarkson. He's priced appropriately, though. It's not like he's super cheap. If Ingles was like $4,500 today, I think he'd be a really good option. But he's not. He's $5,700, so yeah, he's a fine option, but I don't think he's like a must play or anything. I don't think he's like a top option. Unless Conley were to get out. If Conley were to get ruled out too, then yeah, I'd really like Ingles. But for now, like I said, I'm assuming Conley plays. Yahoo top spin up options. I mean, I'm probably not paying up for like a lot of studs today. I think there's a lot of mid-range options I like. Siakam, Middleton, Drew. But if I had to pay up for anyone, it would probably be Luka. Like, for any stud above like $40, it'd probably be Luka. What do you think about Barnes and Covington? I mean, I think both are, decent options, but neither one are guys I'm really, looking to roster today or even, going to roster probably. Like, I'm fine with them as like a last piece in if you have no other guy to go to, but I wouldn't be starting my lineup with those guys or even really, rushing to roster them. Something Noah, sorry I'm late to the party, but I hit that like button. Hey, I appreciate that, T-Bone. I appreciate that, man. Thank you. With Horton Tucker out, any interest in Wesley Matthews? No shot. I mean, there's no way I'm playing Wesley Matthews. Like, I don't think Wesley Matthews has scored like more than 25 fantasy points all season. Like, I don't see. I mean, Wesley Matthews is basically like the PJ Tucker of. He's like a guard version of PJ Tucker. Like, those are guys you just don't play. You never play PJ Tucker. You never play Wesley Matthews. You never play Tony Snell. I mean, just don't do it. Wesley Matthews could play 37 minutes tonight and score 15 fantasy points. All right, guys, we've been live for about 45 minutes, so I'm going to wrap up the stream here. I appreciate all you guys tuning in as always. Should be live once again tomorrow for Friday's slate. Hope you guys have a good night. Win some money tonight. Good luck, fellas. Appreciate you being here. We'll see you tomorrow. Good luck, fellas. Good luck.